Ology means the study of. Ecclesiology is the study of the church, the called out ones, this new group of people in the new covenant that God has used, both Jew and Gentile, to shine a light into the world until the day of the Lord, the church. Ecclesiology is where we probably start to divide ourselves from all sorts of people, even the ones watching this video. Ecclesiology, the study of the church, this group of people, the called out ones that Jesus said upon the statement of faith that Peter gave, that Jesus is the Christ, the Messiah. Upon that statement, he would build his church, this assembly, this called out group of people who are different from Israel. This is where we start to get into that nitty gritty. A different group from Israel, and yet partaking into the trunk of Israel. Who are these church people? Obviously, it's not a stained glass building. We are the church, but how should it function? Who should pastor it? Who should not pastor it? How many pastors should there be? All of that detailed later in the New Testament. Boy, oh boy, do we have a lot of churches. There's not thousands of denominations. It's always talked about on the internet. There's actually only a major couple denominations that break down into smaller and smaller bits. But obviously, we think quickly about like the Roman Catholic Church, which sprouts up a couple hundred years after the time of Jesus. Even modern day Mormons, Latter-day Saints, and Jehovah's Witnesses, Adventists, the Protestant Reformations, the Baptists, the Methodists, the Presbyterians, the Pentecostals, and so on. Probably missing a few. Where do they agree and where do they disagree? And ultimately, we'll come back to this later. Do they agree on the Bible? Do they agree on who Jesus is? Do they agree on the view of salvation, soteriology? So we'll come back around to that. Just please remember, there are false churches, just as much as there's false teachers and false converts. The Bible's very clear about that. So the Bible's your answer for a lot of that. In the Old Testament, God's chosen people are known as the Hebrew people. Jacob, whose name is changed to Israelites, Israel. Now, Jesus was very clear that he came only for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Don't get too lost with the division of the 10 and the 2 tribes. Just stick with me here. Paul was very clear in Romans chapter 11 that God will not desert you, and you can know this because God will never forsake his own people, the Hebrew people, genetic Hebrew people. He actually explains to us that all of us Gentiles are, yes, we're true Jews inwardly by faith in the Messiah, into the family of Abraham, but we're not replacing the people of Israel. Israel still has a purpose. In fact, they still have a prophetic future purpose, which is why a lot of evangelical Christians to this day stand with Israel. Not to mention that they are our biggest ally in the Middle East, of course. But let it be clear, the Baptist Church, the Methodist Church, we don't just replace the people